All right. Let's do it. Podcast. Right now. Well, hello, and good morning, and good evening, and welcome, and greetings and salutations, and hello, and welcome to Podcast Right Now, episode 174, February 14th, 2020, Valentines Day. Hi, guys. Oh, wait.
Hello.
Is
Happy Valentine's Day.
Is Trippy turning on his video? What's happening?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah, looks normal on my end.
He effed me on my situation.
Oh,
He effed me.
He threw us
All
off.
right, we're good. He's done. He un-effed us. Welcome to the podcast, listeners. My name's John, and we got a heck of an episode all curated, and we practiced it. We did a couple rehearsals before we hit record today, so we're excited to come to you like a group of young professionals, and we can't wait.
Hey, I just wanted to mention. Line.
Carl needs a line. You don't have a line yet. Remember, I have to go. I'll go around and then I'll call on you.
I fucking jumped my cue.
I thought you were giving up cocaine this month.
Who, Carl or me?
No, just booze.
Okay, you can have a line then.
On the pod today, you've already heard a few of these handsome voices. Let's talk about the most important man in the group right now, the one that we probably all sort of model our lives after. We look up to him. If we run into a tough patch in our life, we give him a call. We say, hey, man, what should I do? Can you help me? Drop some wisdom into my ears. His name's Carl. His middle name's Junior spelled out, and we love the fucking guy. I don't know what else to say about him. Carl, how you doing?
I love you too.
Will you be my Valentine? Will you let me fuck ya?
Nope, I can't. I already got one.
All right. Also on the pod this week, it's an expensive dog. You want to board this boy? I hope you brought your checkbook with you, because you're gonna have to write a big old check to board this dog. This is an expensive dog. It requires many prescription medications every day. You have to at noon and then again at 7 right after dinner time. You're going to want to apply a cream to his dog anus. He's $1,000 dog. Let's get some barks out there in the chat for Chirp Daily. My dog just freaked out when I made that noise.
Yeah, I'm trying not to freak out the dog. The dog's here.
Chirp truthfully, how's your life? How you feeling, bud?
It's pretty good, man. It's early. That's the one thing is it's very much first thing in the morning for me, which we don't usually do. But feeling good. Slept heavy after playing some video games late, and now I'm working on my coffee.
Yeah, we were cutting throats and sailing boats last night in Halo 5. Kevin and I just carrying the weight. We played with a couple knuckleheads, the Super Shark and the Golden Bear, and let's just say they played pretty negative on the KD ratio, but we'll forgive them and we're happy to help. Also on the pod this week, this man is typically drunk. Not this month. No, he's a romantic today. I assume he's got his pubes all shaved up and he's bleached his asshole for his one true love. Joe, how are you? Are you there? Are you reading me?
You got that backwards. I actually bleached my pubes and shaved my asshole.
Yeah, well, I mean, either way, it's going to be a nice situation.
Yeah. That is going to grow in uncomfortable.
It's a difficult area to shave, too. And I know Joe, he's one of these fanatics for these Mach 6s and Mach 7s. He's got all these blades down there. I know he's not moisturizing afterwards. Ugh.
I mean, you just need somebody to help spread your cheeks. You're good. That's what love is all about. Somebody to spread your cheeks wide open.
I think he uses a classic safety razor, too. First he gets in there with the soap and the brush.
Oh, yeah, the brush. Cheek. Yeah.
Yeah, soaps up the whole anus.
And you know Joe, he's not trying to spend a whole bunch of money on this endeavor, so he's probably using the same brush and everything that he uses for his face. So you now have fecal matter on your face.
You just let it soak for about 10 minutes afterwards. You're good.
Let it soak. You're like my roommate in college.
That's how you save money. I know that we've got quite a bit to talk about today.
Big list on the episode.
Let's not spend too much time in my asshole. Let's jump right into my white privilege. I exercised some of that this morning. It felt great.
Okay,
really?
Yeah, go into it.
So I went to the store, as you do. I wanted to beat the rush. There's a lot of coronavirus still going around. Didn't want to be mingling with the sickies. Got up to check out, the self-checkout. Had some produce with me. Bought some avocados. You ever do this? They're on a bit of the honor system with how many avocados are you buying? On accident, I pressed 2 when in fact I was buying 3 avocados. Put it in the bag. Nobody bothered to come say, "Hey, sir, you got 3 avocados in that bag." I thought about pressing the back button and canceling the thing out and re-scanning it, but then the cashier self-checkout lady would have had to come over and it would have been a whole thing. Would have had to interact with her, so I just let it ride. I took that 3rd avocado. I've never looked back. I didn't have anybody tackling me to the ground or tasing me or anything like that, so yeah.
You could have just added another line item for 1 avocado.
See, you couldn't have, because then it would have said, okay, now put that avocado in the bag. And then...
Oh, right.
Would have been all kinds of fuck. I thought about it, and then that was another part of the hassle. I just said, you know what? Pull on the white privilege card, not gonna fuck with it.
I gotta ask, what's up with this white privilege? I don't see where that comes in. I think anyone could get away with this mistake, no matter their creed or color.
Only me as a straight white male in the classic 18 to 49 demographic could have pulled this maneuver off. Very savvy, and yes, I've taken full advantage.
Wow. No. Regular Ocean's 11 over here at the local Kroger's. You're out of control, buddy.
I remember when Hillary told us about a similar practice to this, like it was a trick or something. She was like, "Oh, have you heard the hack? There's a grocery store hack." Like, yeah, you buy whatever kind of produce you want, and then you ring it up as like celery or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not a trick. That's just stealing.
It's been around for a long time. In some countries, they'll cut your hand off. Yeah, it's called theft. It's what we call that.
Paying something for it.
The grocery store, they don't call it theft. They call it loss, and you've taken.
Yeah, you're stealing a discount.
Yeah,
but in the olden days, I would have had to keister that 3rd avocado. Very uncomfortable. You got to do a lot of preliminary stretching for that. It's a good thing I shaved my asshole.
Did you downgrade your internet?
I was gonna say, I gotta ask, are you guys experiencing his voice the way it is right now? Okay. We can hear you. You just sound you just sound kind of like an AI or something that we've programmed to replace you because you died of alcohol poisoning, and now this is the new Joe version 2.1. We got a new hot day 1 patch coming in today, mid episode, so we'll see if his audio clears up. But
you got torrent going in the background or something?
Yeah, you torrenting?
No, nothing's going on in the background. I don't know what's happening.
You trying to get that?
He's on LimeWire.
That's much better.
He's got his Morpheus open right now.
I closed iTunes. Is that a thing?
He's downloading Steal This album, System of a Down.
Yeah, or I think it's the Best of Linkin Park album. I think he's downloading that right now.
I was watching some Nakey Jakey videos.
Oh, he's the best.
And it's in the one about pirating music and Napster and stuff that he mentions that I think it was LimeWire. They did LimeWire Pro.
Yeah.
So that you could get faster downloads and like better priority and stuff. But you could just download a cracked version of LimeWire Pro on regular LimeWire.
The pirating technology. I love it.
Beautiful. It was a wonderful time in our nation's history.
Before we get carried away, let me give you a little rundown of what you can expect on episode 174 today. We're going to discuss Valentine's Day, what a special day it is, and how we can prove our love and try to get our D's est. New PCs for me and Kev and Joe. So new technology arriving shortly. Very excited about that.
We haven't mentioned mine. I got new tech too. Yeah.
Everyone's got new tech to talk about. My quest to overdose on marijuana and how that's working out for me also ties into the Feb No Brewery, our no booze challenge for February. The impeachment trials happened. That shouldn't take long. Little Shop of Horrors. Have you seen it? Do you love it as much as you should? Super Bowl 50 happened. We'll touch on that a little bit. Maybe discuss some of our favorite ads. Joe's financial situation. Where's it at? We need the barometer on Joe's checkings and savings and his stock portfolio. We need to know. We got to check in on Joe. Make sure he's got enough for a sandwich. Shut up! I'm going through the list. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Kevin's got some tax tips for you in this episode. That'll help you out. So make sure you have a little pen and pencil or pen and paper handy. You could have a pencil too in case you're not sure about something. We'll erase it later.
Just really broad pencil that you can write on the side of.
You have a quill.
Oh, John's an artist. John's an artist, so he's used to starting with, the pencil sketch and
everything.
Ink it later.
Yeah, everything I write in a notebook, I like grocery list, I pencil it, then I ink it, and then I do a little watercolor wash at the end. Rivalry for the Oral B is back, and we're gonna crank that out a little earlier in the episode instead of waiting on it. And we hope you guys are following us on all the places you can follow us. It's podcastrightnow.com for all the handy links. And then make sure you also hit up nothing.bandcamp.com to support Nothing, the Columbus band, which our good friend Carl plays guitar in. And we are so close, Carl boy, to getting you back on the stage for good.
We are still a band, just so everyone knows.
Good fucking music. So give those guys a listen next time you're doing your workout or on your way to the local Kroger's to steal avocados. Yeah, and then we'll also, of course, like every episode, recommend some movies, shows. Of course, we're going to do our WandaVision check-in episode. Episode 5 is here. Episode 6. And then we'll check in with Joe on his movie challenge, his romantic movie challenge. So, and I think I have COVID. I have a test scheduled today after the podcast. So wish me luck there, boys. It started with the 5-year-old who currently attends preschool 4 days out of the week. She went through it pretty quick, and it's just been really just nasal stuff, congestion, a little bit of coughing. So she got it, and then the other daughter got it, the 9-year-old. Then I got it. I'm pretty much over it. And then wife now has a sore throat and isn't feeling good today, and that started yesterday. So I don't know. Fingers crossed there. I don't have the vid.
You don't think you have COVID. You're making sure you don't.
Right.
Is that right?
I'm really. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how any of this shit works, right? Like, some people have no symptoms. Some people have some symptoms. Some people have all the symptoms and immediately lose their taste. I'm terrified. I don't know what's going on.
One thing you can do, go get tested, but if that turns out negative, I think those tests are for whether you have it currently, right?
Yes.
You can also, I gave blood a couple weeks ago, more or less with the express purpose of finding out if I had the antibodies.
Okay.
And I do not, but that's something you could try too.
See if I've had
if
it.
One comes up negative, if you're curious what it was.
Yeah.
Go give blood and they'll tell you.
Yeah.
And you'll be doing a good thing or something.
I have extra blood too. I make really good blood. You have no idea.
Next time you go to give blood, can I just have it?
Can you just
I might need it. Can I just have it next time?
I don't know. Will you
Have
test?
my blood?
Will you test it for antibodies before you use it for lube with your girlfriend?
Well, there's a lot of hurdles to go through to get blood. You got to be injured or have cancer or something. It cut out a lot of the middleman.
Guys, it's Valentine's Day. Is your heart full? Are you, did you make any preparations? Let's go around and let's just talk about some of the special things we did for our significant others. I don't mind starting, but if someone else wants to go, that would be fine too.
We did. Go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, I'm hanging out with my lady for the weekend.
Quality time. Spending some quality time.
Yeah. She made me a cake. I'll share a photo of that, of that cake.
What kind of cake?
I made her a mix, and I made an album cover for it and everything. It's a confetti cake with strawberry icing.
Ooh.
It's delicious. My
Sounds
favorite.
good.
It's my favorite.
Sounds
my
like
favorite kind of
cake is an aphrodisiac, right?
It is.
Might be.
It worked.
You might be caked in shit by the end of the night.
No,
You guys get into that?
not how that works.
Not everyone does it like that.
I don't think so.
I learned off of Pornhub what sex is, so that's how we always do it. We are not into it either. It is a mess, and it's the smell. It's not good.
You just keep doing it because it's the only way you know.
That's what Jesus wants. I don't know.
You definitely need to invest in a good tarp. That's the easiest solution there.
Well, and my whole thing is,
I just imagine
tarps
you
are,
asking your father. You're asking your father about the birds and the bees, and he refers you to a Pornhub link.
oh god, yeah, he gave me the wrong
I'm
link.
sorry, what were you saying about tarps?
Oh, it's just that it's surprising how affordable they are. And so what me and my wife have figured out is that if we buy a few anytime we go, you only have to maybe clean it once or twice and try to get a couple uses out of it, but then throw them away, toss them, and just start with a new one is kind of what we figured out. But, no, what did I do? We got some chocolates this morning, and the girls got some little stuffed animals and some fun little heart boxes with some sweet treats inside. They love sugar at this age. And then my wife, young Maggie, she said, hey, for this Valentine's Day, why don't you go shopping online and find me something kind of sexy to put on before we raw dog. And, I'm discussing our Valentine's Day, honey. She's hearing me right now. Get out of here. This is Studio E right now. And so she says, go online. And I'm like, oh yeah, that'll be fun. That could be cool. 'Cause she's got a couple sexy things she puts on, but nothing outside of, just like fun colored panties and bras and stuff. And so I've not, shopped for this stuff before, so I kind of don't know what I'm doing. And I'm on Amazon, of course, is where I go for this. And I'm scrolling, and a couple things to bring up. We were sitting on the couch one night, and I remembered she had said this, and this was like a few nights ago, and I said, hey, you said I could like go shopping for a thing, right? Is that real? And she's like, yeah. And so I'm on the iPad there next to her, and I'm going through, and I'm like looking at all these different types of lingerie, different colors, and all the different styles. And in the photo for the products, they have, of course, a woman modeling all of this, right? And then some of them have videos. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, hey, hon, I gotta be honest, just looking up this stuff. I got a little bit of extra blood in the old dick spots. You know what I'm saying? And so that was weird, looking that up right next to my wife. It's like not porn, but I don't know, it was affecting me. That was strange. The other big thing was like, I didn't know how much of my freak flag I was supposed to expose with this purchase. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause there's some really kinky stuff on there, even on Amazon. Like
on Amazon?
Oh yeah. Like crotchless stuff where it's just like Fifth Element style, like straps, or like stuff where like the woman, like boobs are completely out, but it has like the outline of where a bra would be. And then like just crotchless, like vag and butt areas. So I didn't know how far to go with it. And I certainly didn't want to embarrass myself. So I got something kind of classic, your standard, which got the bustier and then the garter, like the strappy things. So, although she's sick now, so I don't know if I'll want to hit it, but
she faked having a sore throat so that nothing would have to happen.
Yeah. Hey man, how was COVID? Oh, my wife how was Valentine's Day? My wife faked COVID. So
I've got like I've got a favorite like dirty thing or whatever a lady could wear. My thing is I like the regular like pantyhose or something.
Yeah.
But then when you get down to business and then you just kind of rip. Yes.
Unwrap your present. Yeah. Look at Carl's cake, everybody. If you're in the stream, you can see Carl's cake. It's shaped like a heart. It has a fair amount of sprinkles, but just relegated to the outer border of the heart. What color icing is that in the center? That's your strawberry. And it says Carl on it. God damn it. That is adorable.
That's a great cake.
Yeah.
There's some unicorn sprinkles.
Hey, if you play your cards right, you might be caked in shit by the end of the night.
You did it again.
So yeah, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. That's kind of what we're doing over here. I thought this was sweet too. My daughter, there's this real shy boy that she's friends with from back in the old normal where everyone could, hang out at recess and do high fives and play Pokemon. And this was last night. Someone pulls in and we're like, oh, what's going on here? We didn't order Uber Eats tonight. We don't expect anyone, and it's COVID time, so we're all trying to figure it out. And then this sweetheart of a boy, this third grader, pops out of a minivan and brings Harley Valentine. Oh, damn it! Brings my 9-year-old Valentines, and then also brought a little Valentine baggie for the younger sister. Come on. Hashtag wholesome. Hashtag wholesome.
Class act little kid.
Yeah, and that's
adorable.
He's the shyest little boy too. You know what I mean? You can see it that he's just constantly like, oh, I don't know how to act around anybody. It was adorable. I called his mom today and just said, like, you got a good one. Keep doing what you're doing.
I'm a little bit concerned that he was driving the minivan though.
I didn't specify that his dad had driven. That's my fault for leaving that detail out. But yeah, Valentine's Day. What are you doing, Kev? What are you and your fiance up to?
So one thing is, I need a word that sounds less French than that because I don't really like. I don't like the word fiance.
Bride to be.
I can do that.
Betrothed.
My girlfriend, what will soon be my wife.
My life friend.
Takes a while to get out of the mouth.
My wife friend is good. Do that.
My soon wife.
My soon wife. Yeah.
Yeah. So we observed our Valentine's Day festivities. We did that yesterday. Started with a couples massage early in the day. So we had 90-minute massages and wasn't sure what to expect from the couples thing, but I was kind of picturing like you would be lying on a bed, like kind of facing the same way and a few feet apart from the other person and like maybe talking a little bit during the thing. We were in the same room and that was about all you could say. Kind of facing different directions and could kind of hear them talking to their massage person, but really it was just two of us getting a massage in the same large room.
Yeah. Did you demand a refund?
No, which is fine. I was agnostic on the concept of having the massage close together anyway, so it just worked out where we were both getting massages, and so did a lot of deep tissue. You really got in there and like felt all my monsters or my creatures, as Jordan used to call them. And
that's right.
Just as I was like starting to strike up a conversation, like I wanted to hear the masseuse talk about like, hey, is what you're feeling right now? It's pretty fucked up, right? And then he brought it up first. He was like, I don't know if you can tell, but your like shoulders back here are a fucking disaster.
No way.
Yeah, and then I was like, for some reason that makes me like proud in a really stupid way that like, yep, that's right.
You work hard. Carrying logs.
I walk around all the time with like this tension that I don't know how to like relax my shoulders.
I gotcha.
It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, overcome that pain on a daily basis and just suffer through this mortal coil. Yeah.
But yeah, he got in there. He did a butt touch that I wasn't sure how to feel about, but
was it one of those lower thigh up to the butt kind of almost like the thumbs are like inches from the balloon knot type of rubs, or what do we got?
Yeah, it was like he was kind of feeling out the back. It was early on in the massage, right? And so the first thing is you have your underpants. Like normally I wear them, I guess the band is right above the hip bone. So the first thing was hike them down just a little bit so they're actually kind of riding the hip bone or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was oiling up the back. And then he just kind of, hand just kind of wandered inside the underpants and like kind of cupped. But it was a massage touch, but it was cupping, like
if your little cheeks.
Yeah, if I had done a bad job wiping, like, his hand would have been dirty.
Oh, that's close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you feel anything in your wiener? Like, did it twitch or wake up a little bit? Or
I felt one slight twitch where I was like trying to decide, like,
gay. You're gay, man.
How much gayer can this get? Where it's, where it's okay. He was an attractive man.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Maybe you're.
It wasn't a twitch. It wasn't a horny twitch. It was just like a on alert, twitch. Like your dick ever do that jump when it's not, it's not a sexual thing. It's just kind of like you tickled me a little bit.
It's called the Cremastic Reflex is what that's referred to. You can test it. All you got to do is lay naked in your bed and have someone touch your thigh or somewhere like around your D, and it'll spawn. It'll come to life. It'll move. It'll slowly rear its little head and wonder what's going on. Yeah, it's a safety thing. It knows to hide and pull the balls inside if it's going to be caught on fire or shot. Cremastic Reflex. You got to learn something.
So yeah, that happened. I think it was a good touch, but it was one of those things that, like, last night after I had some edibles or whatever, it was something I spent a few minutes thinking about, and I was like, wait a minute, is that okay? And I wanted to hear your opinions on whether I was molested.
No, I think you discovered that you might be, and just hear me out, you might be bisexual. So I don't think you should keep any doors closed, and I think you should explore this. And of course you want to be loyal to your soon wife, but I don't know. Feel it out with her and see if maybe we can invite a third into the bedroom, and it could be maybe me or something.
A unicorn, if you will.
We'll give this guy a call. I think if it comes to that, he was an attractive man.
Just real quick, we had a fun conversation last night when we were playing Xbox. Did you guys know that there are certain rules required in cuckolding? Like if you're going to play the role of a cuck in a sexual encounter, Carl, did you know this?
No.
I
imagine people work some stuff out.
So there's some shame play involved. So while you're watching your significant other have a sexual encounter with a third party, big rule is you're not allowed to join in. You're only allowed to watch. I think you can jerk off or something. But I didn't know this, but the cuck is required to clean both of the participants after the act. I didn't know that. Like they have to like wipe them down and then clean the room and make sure everything's okay. The other big one too is if the woman doesn't show up, the cuck has to fuck the guy that was gonna fuck his wife. I just didn't know this.
The woman not show up? Wouldn't they just come together if it's the man and the wife?
Yeah, maybe a scheduling issue happens and dude's there and he's rock hard, ready to rock, and she can't make it for some reason. You are by the ancient code book of the cuckold, you're required to, I think, at least jam off or SSD or something. I just didn't know that. I thought it was interesting.
That is interesting.
I was looking up while you were talking about the cuck thing. I thought you were making up the name of that Cremastic Reflex.
Yeah.
So there's a Wikipedia page on it. There is, of course, a diagram, and if you scroll down just under the diagram...
do you get an animation?
There's a picture, and it says Play Media, and I think I may have accidentally downloaded this guy's penis jerking around.
Now you're going to get a letter from AT&T.
Yep.
In the chat, USMC Bush Baby says that he made strawberry French toast with cheesy eggs and bacon for the lady this morning, and then he's grilling steak and asparagus this evening for their Valentine's dinner. If you don't get some action, put me in contact with her. I'll make sure I'll straighten it out for you.
I got other festivities though. So we did the massage, and then we had dinner at a regular dinner time. So in between, I had to close some rings, and I had to get some roses because that's the one time that I'll buy just like roses or whatever is Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So I did a fairly long walk to like Kroger which is, not the closest grocery store to my house. Got the roses and walked back. You get a lot of like approving nods and stuff from old women if you're just carrying a dozen roses on.
Look at that sweet man.
Effectively Valentine's Day. So that was pretty funny. And then we had a really nice, fairly expensive dinner and watched some fights last night, which was really more of what I wanted to do. But yeah, we had the massage as the activity and then the fancy dinner.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, I always find it kind of demasculating to go check out with flowers. It's like, I'm sensitive and romantic. I'd like to purchase these, please. I just feel like a nerd. It's a little embarrassing. Joe, what are you up to for the big V Day, my main man? You trying to impress this female with a romantic gesture? Anything going on over there?
Yeah, actually, we did this earlier this morning. Kind of some big news. Didn't want to necessarily bring it up pre-pod, but kind of looking at you and Kevin's example, thought maybe it was time. So went ahead and gave her a ring.
What kind of ring?
I'm not reacting yet. Yeah, I'm not reacting yet.
Yeah, normally we just
I know this guy.
Each other, and then today it felt like it was time to give her a call and really tell her that I care about her.
What'd you do? Buy her a cock ring to put on your dick? Was it a ring pop? Did you buy her a new ringtone? I'm waiting.
No, I just said it.
They had White Castle for Valentine's Day, and he had chicken rings.
Chicken rings, one for each finger, honey.
Now there's going to be a movie and some food later. I guess.
Hold on, you bought her like just a nice jewelry?
No, I just said that while you were talking over me. I called her on the goddamn phone.
Gave her a ring. Ah.
Yeah.
Well, you should probably get her the real thing soon. You're on borrowed time right now, buddy.
I don't. There's no kid involved, and there's no health benefits.
It's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. It's about lifelong companionship, my main man.
You can have that without government getting involved. I just don't believe in all this big government telling me. Maybe when the gays are allowed to get married, then I'll consider it.
I think they are.
They're allowed now.
Well, maybe when blacks and whites are allowed to get married, consequence free, legally, I'll consider it.
That was before the gay thing. They figured that one out. Roe v. Wade.
Maybe when dogs and cats are allowed to wed in bliss. Just isn't fair to the dogs and cats.
Is she being a good sport about this, or do you get the feeling that she is okay as you are with big government not running your lives?
It seems fine.
Okay, I'm gonna read that as a no.
That's a hard no.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fine.
She talks to her girlfriends every couple days, and she's like, I don't know what he's waiting on. I know he's anti-big government being a part of our lives, but I really love him. I think he's a great guy. And then all of her friends reply with, "You're still dating that guy that looks like a serial killer? That's still Joe? Okay, yeah. Honey, get away from him.
He's not big government. He just sounds like a Ted Cruz supporter or something.
Yeah.
I hate that government. They're awful. What can I say?
Cool. So we hope you guys all have a good Valentine's Day. It's such a cheesy, dumb holiday, but anything happening during these weird pandy times, it's kind of fun to participate. Like the Super Bowl. We watched the Super Bowl this year. Every other year I go to a party and eat someone's wings and drink their beer and go for the party aspect of it. And this year it was like, well, let's make some wings, honey, and watch the Super Bowl. We did our podcast early last Sunday so that we could all have a Super Bowl. Did you guys have a good time with the superb owl?
I didn't even. There was no.
I mean, I think that was the move. I think that was the move. My kids the whole time are just like, why Why are sports on, Dad? Is Grandpa Dan coming, or what's what's going on? And then we only made it till sometime in the second half, and we were like, what are we doing? Let's put a movie on. Let's put on something we like. Any favorite commercials or anything like that? I know that's a big pull for a lot of people. Any ads you like?
Commercial was pretty sweet.
Bruce Springsteen. I missed it.
Do you know what happened with that?
I missed it.
He did a big Jeep commercial, and then it got pulled because he got a DUI.
Yep. Bad timing.
Yeah.
Who gets a DUI in their 70s?
Why? Yeah, you're Bruce Springsteen. Why isn't someone driving you around?
Well, and how does that even happen? Even if you're completely loaded, there's not a cop that pulls you over and say, okay, two things. You're 70 years old. I'll just drive you home, mister. Honor the elders. And then
also, you're the boss.
Yeah,
right?
well, yeah, he's in charge. He's the boss. He was born in the USA, and it's like, it's Bruce Springsteen. I'd be asking for an autograph, and I mean, what dick writes that ticket? It's a dick move.
I think that the cop was probably just nervous because he knew that Springsteen was born to run.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
He's a flight risk, admittedly.
Which one did I like? I enjoyed the Will Ferrell ones with was that I think General Motors, and I forget what country they were going after, Norway or yeah. That was
Kevin.
fun.
That's like a 5-star joke that you just made. I don't want to let it get past people. That's pretty. That's it's a good pod.
That's an office friendly joke. It's all right. That's an adult. It's gentle humor.
Hey,
gentle humor.
Got a kid invading back there. Yeah, I think the Cheetos, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher was pretty good. Was one of the more memorable ones, and I think that commercial started being funny during one of Ashton's deliveries of one of the lines in that song. He does like what I thought was a pretty funny, like half-hearted Shaggy impression as he's singing, and that was when it all kind of gelled for me.
So I'm seeing a lot of these ads starting to show up on Hulu, and that one specifically, they're kind of funny the first time, but then every subsequent viewing, it's like, God, get this garbage off the Hulu. Bring back my Ally McBeal reruns or whatever, They spend all this money, and I understand they got to get the maximum value out of it, but they're too much. Feels like a lot of them are lazy too. Just pay a random celebrity to drop in and endorse your 3D Doritos. I don't know. It was also weird seeing Matthew McConaughey turn up in a commercial and he's not driving a Lincoln. I kept waiting for the Lincoln to roll up and get him out of that vending machine.
Everyone was really hot on that Flat Matthew. I thought it was like okay. I did not think that was like a good Super Bowl commercial. Am I wrong? Did you guys love that?
No, I was pretty. I didn't really like any of them except for the Jason Alexander hoodie one. That was cute. I don't think I would like it again if it turned up on my Hulu, but there you go.
I think the Flat Matthew happened early in the game, if I remember. I think that was like a first quarter commercial. Yeah, it was nothing special. I think it kind of set the tone for like, it's the Super Bowl. There's going to be unusual commercials, and here we go. But it was kind of boilerplate within the genre of being a Super Bowl commercial, I thought.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of weak. And then also, can we, in future Super Bowls, especially if there's a pandemic, can we take a break on the touchy-feely, here's what's happened in our lives? And, like those, like I thought comedy was the go-to. Like, I don't know, the ratio of comedy ads versus heartfelt, try to make you cry Super Bowl ads. I don't know. I'm over it.
Well, it's probably the game that's most watched by women. And like as a percentage, I think more women are watching than any other game throughout the season.
Okay.
So I think that's the reason that you see those kind of commercials represented.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, other than that, we're not drinking I didn't have any beers, so that was dumb.
Who's the champs? What happened?
Just Tom Brady and the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl.
I'm so glad that fucking Tom Brady could win another one.
It's kind of cool though. I don't know. He's an old guy, and Mr. Gronkowski, who hasn't been super relevant this season from a stats offense point of view. He had a really big game, so that was kind of fun. But the game itself was not competitive. So definitely by the second half, I don't know, didn't really remember watching much of anything. And what else? Oh, the halftime show. What did you guys? How many fishing poles you go on the halftime show?
Like maybe like 4 out of 10 for me. I'm not a big Weekend fan, and then I guess I appreciated the format of it, right? So not it being a crowd and a stage and just one guy on a stage. So I did like the different areas that they traveled to and the different sets. You were into it, Kev? You liked it?
Yeah, I thought it was 8 out of 10 type, area.
Yeah.
The format is like just the general like Super Bowl performance format. It's kind of weird because it's like, all right, we need you to do a what do they call those? The collection medley of like your most popular songs, and it's kind of understood that you're going to be like lip syncing a lot of it.
Yeah,
and you just have to like make sure you hit all your beats, all your popular songs in 15 minutes. And I thought within that sort of constraint, they did a pretty good job and made it actually kind of enjoyable to watch and listen to.
Yeah. I guess I was surprised at how many Weekend singles that I was familiar with. I was humming along to a few of them. Maybe 4 out of 10 was harsh. Joe, did you enjoy the Weekend?
I was in that same boat where I heard a song and I thought, oh, I've heard that song before, either just like in the background of life somewhere or what have you.
Not by my own doing.
Yeah, no, I guess it was fine. I don't really know any of his songs. I don't really care for the Super Bowl format, so I guess by those standards, it did what it needed to do, which was play music while the players are figuring out the strategy for the second half.
Who did the national anthem this year?
It was, I think, Blake Shelton. It was one of those country guys, and then some, like, I don't know if it's a pop singer or a classical singer, but there was a lady who, they did a 2-part harmony thing.
How did that sound?
It was fine. It's the national anthem. I don't know. It's not really a toe tapper.
Did any kneeling? Yeah, did any kneeling take place? Any kneeling?
Not that I don't know that anyone was on the field. Maybe they were. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember seeing any of that.
Okay. Super Bowl, boom. Disgust. No, like I said, we're not drinking this month. So, hey, get out of here. These damn kids, I swear to God, they'll suck your soul right out of your body. We did, we're not, so it's the Feb No Brew Airy Challenge this month. And, so no beers during the Super Bowl. It hasn't been an issue for me. We're 2 weeks in, we're like halfway through. But I do want a beer. Is that kind of where you guys are? Carl, did you hop back off the wagon, on the wagon? Did you get back on the wagon? I know you slipped up last week.
I'm back. Yeah,
He's back. Good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good boy.
I do want something though. I want a White Claw.
I want a New England style double IPA, and I want it in a pint glass from a draft. That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm looking at these. I got some fancy sodas to drink.
Yep.
But I'm looking at the nutrition facts. These look like they're just awful. So it says total sugar is 59 grams, and then
that's
it says
high.
But then it says includes 59 added sugars, 118%. Why would that be 2 lines? Why wouldn't it say 118 sugar grams?
Huh.
It's a subtotal of all the categories of sugar. I'm not even sure what that added sugar means exactly.
I've never seen that before. I guess I've never really looked for it, or I don't know if that's
it sounds like some expression of like, just sort of unrefined, just, throwing sugar into, but wouldn't all soda seems like it would fall under that. Anything that's not a fruit, basically, you would think has added sugar.
Well, it looks like I've had my sugar for today and tomorrow with this one maple root beer craft soda.
Yeah.
Maple root beer?
Yeah, it had a nice looking bottle. I went by the same standards that I buy normal beer with. I found a soda with a fancy looking label.
Yeah.
It looked classy, and then I come to find out it's just, I'm basically, I've got a bit of a stomach ache right now, full disclosure. I've drank this kind of quickly.
Liquid cancer.
Yeah, no, it's like I licked sap straight from a tree, essentially. And I guess whatever else. I was doing a pixie stick as well at the same time. It's like I'm double fisting.
I've pretty much officially hit my point of disinterest in the sugary drinks. That was kind of fun for the first week. We got some cream sodas and some ginger ales, and I'm over it now. I'm mainlining the fizzy drinks, but what I did find, this brand AHA, they make a fizzy drink, no sweeteners, no calories, no sodium, but it has like a little bit of caffeine in them. So that's been kind of nice. So
you got the cherry coffee, whatever it is?
We went with strawberry cucumber, and then another one we got was like, I think lemon lime.
Those ones shouldn't have caffeine in them. I think they have like two flavors. One of them's like green tea.
Oh, you're right.
Honey.
You're right. I thought it was just the whole brand. Yeah, this does not have caffeine in it. That's funny.
No, I think it's green tea and honey, and
that's what it was.
Like a cherry chocolate or cherry coffee bean or something like that.
That was the one that we got that did have caffeine. The green tea one. So pretty good, but bored.
I like their flavors.
Yeah,
they've got is it a blueberry like pomegranate or something? That's a really good one. Watermelon lime, I want to say.
I'll check.
Along with the strawberry cucumber.
I'll check those
good
out.
Flavors.
Yeah, we definitely have to go to the Kroger's for those. Aldi's only carries like a couple flavors of LaCroix, and I don't know, who cares? Some other like just standard ones like lime and grapefruit and whatever. What I have
go ahead.
Or sorry, I was just going to get into our next topic here.
Wait. This is still on the February. I've looked at the calendar.
Yeah.
And it seems the month is actually going to be ending 2 Sundays from now. I'm going to go ahead and make an executive decision that I will be back drinking for whatever time we start the podcast on that Sunday.
I think I'll do that too, Joe.
Why?
Because realistically, I'm not going to probably drink again for the next week. It seems like a waste of a day that I could be drinking.
And it's like Monday is the 1st of March. What am I going to do? Get loaded on a Monday night? Come on.
Exactly.
Sunday is it's still February.
What if what about midnight?
Days for all of the days outside of February that you aren't drinking.
You think midnight is allowed?
If you started on midnight at the start of the month, then you can end at midnight. Otherwise, it's whatever you did at the start of the month. So if you drank, if you stopped drinking at midnight.
Yeah, I don't think I did. Well, then we are at an impasse.
Yeah. I mean, you guys, obviously you're going to do what you're going to do. Officially, I disapprove of the decision to. And
you will log it as a fail. You will log it as a loss. I mean, it's just, there's no.
If I'm forced to call it for you guys drinking on that Sunday, you will have not done the challenge. Yes.
Yeesh. Joe, I don't know if I can sleep with that. Kevin's
I feel
approval
like
is pretty
I'll sleep
big.
okay. I'll sleep okay and wake up a little bit with a headache the next day.
So what I was going to say, it's related to the no beer, no booze challenge, but really started going heavy on the edibles. I'm finding that like a midday dose and then also an evening dose has been a lot of fun. But the problem is my tolerance is catching up now. And so I'm not getting that scary edge of freak out sensation that I'm kind of after when I consume a marijuana edible. and it bums me out a little bit. I'm definitely in chill mode and creative mode. All of that stuff still kicks, but I want that. I want that freak out mode where like you can sit by yourself in a chair with no entertainment at all and just think and be having a blast. You know what I'm talking about? Anybody?
Do you actually enjoy that part, or you just feel like it's kind of productive?
I do enjoy that part.
Okay.
Like it's a little bit of obviously I don't want to go too far with it and like consider calling 911 because I don't know how to deal with it or whatever, because people do that. But I would like to be in a place where, I don't know, it's like 100% something is happening right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've got the thing where I don't really enjoy it, but then it feels like you kind of worked something out. Like for me, it's like the first part of being on psychedelics, really.
Yeah.
You ride it up a little bit and it's uncomfortable, and then at a certain point you kind of figure out the feeling, and the rest of the night is kind of like very relaxing and enjoyable and different.
Right. And for anyone listening, this is legal in the state of Ohio. All of us have medical marijuana cards, and we are purchasing these from a reputable source. So before you start calling Johnny 5-0 on us, just so you know, we're covered. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I mean, it's really not expensive to enjoy that. I would say it's even cheaper than buying as much beer as we were stocking the fridge with. So I don't feel bad about it. I got a great like gummy, so that would be like the oils side of it that I really like, and then also the baked goods, which is going to be more of like the fat soluble butter type product, and both are great. Both hit different, but I tell you what, man, I don't know if you're a square and you're listening to this, if you haven't eaten some weed ever, maybe give it a try. Super low dose to start with, and put a funny movie on and watch the rain clouds fade away. That's our sponsor this week, by the way. Edible marijuana. But yeah, I've been trying to overdose, Kevin. That's my goal. Is I wanna absolutely freak out. So sometime I think this week, I'm gonna go hard in the paint. I've been like averaging around 20, 30 milligrams. I really want to do like a straight up 50, 60 milligram night and just see what happens. So.
Okay. Well, I support you.
Thank you.
I think you can get your hands on that many milligrams, and
I think so.
I'm excited to hear your review.
Well, we'll play. Maybe we'll play some video games when I do it, and you can be my Sherpa.
I wanted to, before we get too far into the podcast, I wanted to introduce a game.
Yeah,
I was thinking we could wrap up the rivalry for the Oral B.
Let's do it.
Should I just tell you the game? Do we want to do the whole intro music?
Yeah, let me do the short theme here. I'll do the short version. Okay. Maybe Kevin, while I pull this up, explain, give us this scoreboard, or tell us, what's at stake.
Sure. So right now, John, you have 30 points. This is to 32. So you're right there. Carl close behind with 25, and Joe has 14 points, even though I think we've waited on him every time he wasn't here for one of the games. Inexplicably, still has 14 points. But we're going to be playing a format today where he could get himself back into contention.
Okay. All right. And here comes that intro theme. The rivalry.
Open wide, boys.
Yes, open wide, boys. I think Rod Puckett would be proud of the drums that are programmed on that little intro. Pretty proud of that.
Hey, John, are you hitting the mute button on your mic?
I am, yeah.
It doesn't work.
Right now?
You always come through. You're not muted.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
You were
good
quiet,
to know.
though. I didn't notice you making noise during the. Anyway.
It comes through a little bit. When I listen to it back, sometimes it'll pull the audio, like while the music is playing, it'll like focus the audio over to you for a second.
That's why I mute it. So let me do this then.
Yes. Just yeah. Did you try to mute yourself in Discord?
I muted my mic in. Oh, you know what? I bet that's what it is. I bet I have to mute in Discord. Let me try this one. Now I'm muted, right?
Yeah. Now you're muted.
That's what it is. It's because OBS is pulling everything from Discord, audio, video. That makes sense. Okay. Anyways, Rivalry for the Oral-B.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to introduce this game, and then we're not going to score it until a little bit later in the episode. So I wanted to give this to you early on, so you can kind of be working on it throughout. No February. I'm trying to take advantage of this time to tighten up a little bit. My game to you today is a categories style game. I want you to try to name things that I've eaten during the month. And this can be parts of food. It can be like full names of dishes that you would find as in a cookbook. But I'm not looking for condiments, mayonnaise. That's not an answer here. It would be like something that you would offer to somebody as a snack or as part of a meal.
So just things you've eaten.
Yep, things that I've eaten that I can remember eating this month. And it's category style, which means you get a point for everything that you name that no one else was able to name.
Okay.
And so I'll just put that out there. We'll, check back in half an hour.
Cool.
45 minutes, something like that, and see what y'all came up with.
Run through those one more time. Hold on, there were dogs going nuts here.
So it's categories, and you're just writing down things that I've eaten in the month of February.
Okay.
And we can write as many as we want.
You can write as many as you want. Yep.
Damn. Cool. And it goes with the game because you use your teeth to eat.
That's right.
All right. I'm going to win today. That's my plan. And fuck you, Joe, and fuck you, Carl. Okay. Yeah, so there we go.
Fuck you too, buddy.
Yeah, there you go. There, I wanted it back. Thank you. Man, I'm looking at my list so far, and Kevin, you got to fix this diet, man. I'm writing down all bullshit. Now I'm all distracted. Sorry. Cool. Valentine's Day Super Bowl. The impeachment trials. Did you guys get in on any of that? Were you able to watch some of that? I mean, it was pretty, I guess, predictable, the cases that were brought by both sides, and me and wife kind of had it on in the background of whatever was going on in the office. As we know, he was acquitted, so nothing happened in there. I guess my takeaway was, it was a big reminder of, was that the 6th of January, the Capitol insurrection, and just how brutal that was. I mean, that, like, I know we live in this news cycle of, you kind of move on every couple days to whatever the new stupid story is to distract us, keep us afraid. But damn, they showed some footage that was, I guess, not yet released, and I forgot about the spreading of the shit on walls and I mean, obviously people die. There were, the amount of injuries was also kind of baffling to me. I don't know. All of it was crazy to kind of relive and revisit. Any thoughts on any of that stuff, guys?
So, do we know, was anything at stake in this trial? Like, it was an impeachment trial. Was it also like a criminal thing, or what's the impact of impeachment? Would be he's not allowed to run again. Is that it?
Yeah. Even that would be a separate trial too, whether or not he was allowed, if he was barred from running again. The impeachment was just to say that this president was impeached and left office, on America's bad side. Joe, you usually are plugged into this shit. Is that kind of right? Or
I didn't watch any of this one,
Right.
but yeah, so he's been impeached twice, and then both times he's been acquitted without consequence. So he's had more impeachments than Emmys for The Apprentice. He matches now the total number of impeachments previous to his presidency in the U.S. So good for us, America.
Yeah.
And of course, nothing has happened. So I saw this on the internet. It's a good point. He did say he could literally murder somebody on the street and get away with it. That's essentially what he did. 5 people died during the course of this insurrection.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no consequence. Now we see if there's any kind of criminal charge brought towards it that would take place in a trial outside of the Senate and and so forth. So I think there will be more charges brought against him, perhaps unrelated to this, but tax related by the various states. So I think it's going to be a while before Trump is completely done outside of the halls of justice.
Did anyone happen to check in on, I think it was day 4, maybe day 3, but it was the defense day, and it was a short day. It was only like 3 or 4 hours. But they put together these video compilations that were cracking me up, and it made me feel like total simulation theory or something was real. It was basically they went all the way back to, I mean, during the Obama administration, back to the early 2000s. They were, and they put a compilation together of every time any Democrat said the word like fight, or we gotta fight, or we're gonna fight this, or we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight till the end. Like, and they just, I mean, it had to be 20 minutes of that. And it was just like, they would wrap up a segment and be like, okay, geez, that was crazy. And then they would launch into a whole nother compilation. I kind of felt like what is actually happening right now, but it works. So
none of those incited violent
and that's
insurrections where
right.
people died.
Right.
It's a very 2021 defense, I think, and I'm not sure it's like that horrible conceptually. The trouble is you got to be careful because like when you try to incite people on the left, they're all like scared cucks. So then nothing happens. They never actually fight anyone.
Yeah.
But if you incite people on the right,
they took a police precinct and was that Seattle?
Yeah.
For a couple weeks there.
Those Dems burnt some shit. It's possible.
So yeah, you got to be careful when you're whipping up people who actually like have energy and balls and stuff,
and guns and pepper spray and handcuffs and tactile gear and yeah.
Did anyone talk at all about like? I still think it's weird that the police presence at the Capitol seemed like it was like non-existent, at least for the first few hours of things.
Yep.
If I were going about this and like making the argument that Trump did something criminal, it would be either in not sort of sending National Guard people early in the thing, or like I'm suspicious that it was a thing where the police were like told this is going to happen and don't do anything about it. That to me would be criminal. I don't really get in on like, oh, he told people to do something.
Well, there was that phone conversation that came out towards the end of all of this trial.
I'm not familiar with this.
Joe, do you know the details on that? I don't know if I can really
speak to it.
Yeah,
I don't. The conversation that would be the damning one would be when he's talking to the Georgia person about trying to find votes. That's completely unrelated, though. I don't know about an insurrection-related conversation.
This was apparently a conversation during the insurrection where someone was pleading with him to send help, and he said, well, maybe those people there just care more about the election than you do. Referring to the insurrectionists.
That does sound familiar. It was with Kevin, somebody.
Yes.
McCarthy? He's one of the big Republicans.
I think that's the guy.
Okay. Yeah, if I were, again, trying to make the argument that he did something criminal, it would be much more in the not responding ballpark. That seems easier to demonstrate to me.
Yeah. They needed a 2/3 vote, and they were far from it. A lot of Democrats want to move forward with Biden's, plans regarding COVID. So I think a lot of these guys, they didn't want to spend a lot of time on it, no matter what the outcome was going to be. And I don't know. It's kind of nice. Obviously, I'd like him to be held accountable, and I'm of the opinion that he was in some part responsible for what happened. It's a bummer, and I've said this after it all happened, but I feel sympathy and I feel bad for some of these people that were sort of brainwashed into thinking this was the next play in the playbook. Okay, this is what he said. This is how I'm taking it, because this has been my Lord and Savior for the last 4 years. Drain the swamp, build the wall. I don't know. I feel bad for those people. I feel like those are like, if I sat down and politics didn't come up, a lot of these people, I'd be able to like enjoy their company and have a beer with or something, and not this month, of course, but
yeah.
I feel bad for those people.
And they like, the Republicans kind of admitted that he did this. They were just like, it's constitutional to do this. So
yeah,
we're voting no.
Yeah,
which is whatever. I mean, you can argue either way. Like,
yeah,
which was unconstitutional.
That they're
he could be
holding
impeached
an
after
trial for a private citizen.
Right.
Yeah,
but he was impeached before he left office. So, like,
what do they call it?
First time they impeached him, he actually became a bigger favorite to win the next election. Though I thought that was funny.
Yeah, and that one was way more drawn out with investigations and everything else. This was kind of a rapid fire, let's bang this out in a week, and we did, and now we're moving on. So
cool.
Yeah, hang
that are politics.
Yeah, hang Pence. I mean,
yeah.
I really would have hated to have seen what would have happened if they weren't able to hide some of those people quicker. I feel like it would be a completely different story. And all the factors of what did happen still blow me away. Like, if any 2 or 3 like little details in that entire day were dumbed down or removed or softened in some way, all of it would have made way more sense to me. Like, it was just, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised it didn't go through, but he's got other shit going on that's gonna.
How are people so far gone that they didn't know? That it wasn't like obvious that not that Biden was going to win, but that the votes were going to come in the way that they did. Like, how do people not understand by now that they don't count all the votes by the end of election night ever? The damn machine spits out something at the end of the night that says this is the projection because there's not enough votes left for it to change. This is what it's going to be. That didn't come out for some states until days later because they weren't allowed to start counting the mail-in votes until the day of or after for some states.
When you say projection, are you talking about like news outlets and stuff though?
No, I'm talking about what the poll workers get when they finally leave. Like at the end of an election night, the system that they're feeding everything into spits out a projection.
But don't they? Okay, so I thought that
because eventually, like I mean, Joe Schmo has 50,000 votes, and there's 49,000 votes left.
Oh yeah, if it's mathematically eliminated,
go home.
Yeah, that's
this
cool.
is the official projection from this precinct.
Yeah,
I thought they still okay because I
most
thought
of the projections come from like people who have just voted. So different networks can use like different criteria when they call a state versus the actual when a state is called. So every vote is eventually counted, but a lot of it comes from like who you talk to after the fact. I don't know that there's really a machine that gives a preliminary projection.
They're not counting them all by the end of election night though. Ever.
Right. Well, I think it used to be that you would get to a certain point where it was like improbable enough and elections were kind of like diplomatic enough that you got to a certain point and one person would concede. So maybe you never even had to count every last vote.
Right.
But not sure if that'll ever be the case again.
But yeah, there's just, there's large amounts of votes. Those votes weren't, just the way that people described it too is so silly. Like, did you see that votes just appeared in the middle of the night? Like,
the midnight drops. Remember the midnight drops?
Yeah.
He had no evidence. That's the thing, is there was not a scratch of evidence of dead people voting for Biden or,
there's always evidence of that, but
the percentage is so minuscule that it's not any kind of real, it's the same shit that happens every year, you know what I mean? Or every election,
They did find, when they did recounts or whatever, they did find swings that I believe are larger than like what you would have seen in Florida, back when.
Bush.
When they've done these recounts in recent history, I think it's been in the order of like a couple hundred votes. Yeah. It was one of the ones out of Wisconsin where they counted it 3 separate times, and I think the full impact of that was like a 2,000 vote swing towards Trump. So I mean, I think it was a little more than like what usually happens in terms of the difference that a recount makes, but still not. He needed like 15, 20,000 in the closest of states, but
yeah, it was something like a difference of 7 million votes total. I don't know. Yawn, politics, moving on.
But that may not be. I mean, he needed votes to like win enough states to.
If you had 100,000 votes,
the right counties, yeah.
I think you could have done it with 100,000 votes if you were able to reassign them wherever you wanted. Maybe not. I don't know. Sort of stopped paying attention to what happened to the like New Mexico, and there at the end it all became about politics.
Well, he did release a statement after the fact, obviously not on Twitter or any social media, but he called the whole thing a witch hunt, and he said this is only the beginning when it comes to making America great again. So I'm not convinced that he wouldn't run again, right? Like, or one of his fucking kids or something? I don't know.
Oh, those kids.
Those fucking kids.
I'm gonna check out his odds now and see if they've moved in the last week or two of being the next president.
We still got a guy on our street who's still rocking the flag, man.
Oh, there's a ton of those up if you go out into like northern Ohio.
So what's the deal?
Roads.
I mean, so what's the deal now? I mean, is it just I like this guy, or do we leave it up until the next election? Am I going to see Trump flags for 4 years? Is that help me? I'm asking.
Probably, from some people, yeah.
But
in my neighborhood, at least, there was There's only one or two Trump signs, and like the night that it was finally called, the Trump sign went down, but they still had their Halloween pumpkin out.
They might just be lazy.
Yeah, well, I feel like they wanted to get off of one boat, and then I don't know. The pumpkin was looking pretty melted by that point.
That's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to be the house that puts everything out. So I'll have all the election signs out, all the Black Lives Matter signs. I'm going to do Christmas lights, Halloween decorations, birthday party balloons on the mailbox. I'm just going to do it all and then just cover myself for the year. And I'll have the house that looks like a gypsy encampment. It'll be fine.
So he has not become any more or less likely to be the next president in the last 2 weeks.
Blow my nose on the podcast. That's fine.
We'll be monitoring the situation.
I saw him taking his trash out the other day, and there was a part of me that wanted to slow down and roll the window down and be like, "Hey, I live a couple houses down. We haven't met. My name's John. What's up with that flag, man? What are we thinking? Is that coming down?" But there's no way you can do that. And in fact, it's rude and you can't do that. You can't ask someone why they have their flag up.
It's rude, and I don't see I can't foresee.
There's no way he's like
play out in a friendly way.
Yeah, there's no way he's like, oh, you know what? You make a lot of sense. I think I will take that. It's just crazy.
You do make a lot of sense, though.
I don't know. We took our Biden shit down, which I'm not even a fan of putting that shit up in the first place. But my wife likes to, show the support to cars that drive by. I guess maybe I don't know. But we took all our shit down.
You know what? I like that house better than the house that has the Trump sign. So I'm going to vote for Biden this year. There's
another house in our neighborhood that it doesn't have the Trump flag up, but as far as I can tell, and I've been, I guess, being
a big burning cross in the
no, it's an American flag, which that's whatever. I have my opinions about that though, flying the American flag. The thing is, they have those lawn lights that illuminate your house, and they have a white house, and it is split up into 3 chunks, and they have red, white, and blue lights that light up their house. And the American flag is just like, we love America in this house. Like, that's a weird one to me, like patriotic year-round lighting. It's weird. Daddy? What's up, kiddo?
Yeah, that's an intense choice to make for your house year-round. Like, even 4th of July, that would be a nice play.
No. It could be Russian as well. It could be Russian accents.
No.
Well, you shouldn't have gotten in mine then.
The internet is hearing you scream at your child.
I actually, she's running a tight ship over there, getting the kids out of the studio.
Studio E. We are live right now. Yeah. What else, guys? You want to move on?
Yeah, that's enough of that.
Yeah. But anytime we do that damn politics thing on this podcast, it ends up being 45 minutes. There's no way to avoid it.
We did. What did we do? A tight 20 there?
It might have been. It might not have been that long. Either way,
everything's a mess. It's just a mess.
I can.
We're not qualified to say anything new, and nobody ever changed their mind anyway. It's
true. It's true.
It's what adults do, I guess. Every once in a while, you have to talk about politics.
Yep. I do not envy Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. He's got a.
I would not want to be in his position.
He's got a lot of
goddamn better stakes in this country.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's handling it well. I mean, as far as like, I don't want to fight with anybody, man. All right, I just want to fucking get some vaccines out there. What do you guys want next? We can talk about new technology. We can talk about Little Shop of Horrors, Joe's financial situation. Kevin's got some tax tips for us.
I gotta roll soon. Actually.
You gotta roll out.
Yeah.
We should do the game then.
You want to round out the game?
Ask how much time we got left to write shit down.
Makes sense. I got a pretty hefty list in front of me. If you guys are ready, I'm down.
Yeah, I could go. I don't think I'm going to win this. I don't think I've got enough stuff. I also don't know if I did this right.
All right, well, we'll see. I'll try to give you the benefit, appropriate for somebody who's down by a ton of points in this game.
Well, this could be my swing.
All right, Joe, you want to get us started?
Yeah.
Okay, so then me and Carl, make sure you're just scratching off everything on your list that we have duplicates of.
All right, so I said
none of that counts.
Yeah, if anyone says the same thing, it doesn't count.
All right, I said that over the course of the last month, you maybe have had an apple.
I have had an apple.
Okay. An orange.
Did you get a point for apple?
Did anyone else have apple?
I did not have apple.
I did not have apple.
All right, so that's one for Joe.
I guess assume that if it goes unchecked, nobody's challenging it.
Yeah, why don't you blast through your list?
Yeah. Orange?
Nope.
No, you didn't have it. Okay. Banana?
Nope.
Avocado?
Yep.
Grape?
Nope.
Clementine?
Nope.
A salad.
Yep.
Steak.
Yep.
Good boy.
I had steak.
Okay. Chicken.
Yep.
Now hold on. Joe just says chicken. What if I have different forms of chicken listed?
If he just wrote chicken and you wrote a preparation of chicken, then those are separate things and you can both score.
Great.
Okay. Spaghetti.
No.
Scrambled eggs.
Yes.
Poached eggs.
No.
Okay, those are, I didn't go through like all the, broccoli.
Nope.
Pecans.
Yes.
Walnuts.
No.
Raisins.
Nope.
Gross.
A baked potato.
No.
Toast.
No.
A smoothie.
No.
Okay. Was that because you had to think about it or because you had something similar to a smoothie?
I had something similar to a smoothie.
Gotcha. Okay. Stuffed pepper.
Nope.
Stuffed zucchini.
Nope.
Tacos.
Yes.
I had tacos.
Damn it.
Were they good, Carl?
Chili? Any chili there?
Yep.
Nice. Tilapia.
No.
Salmon.
No.
Salami.
Yes.
Peanuts.
No.
Peanut butter.
Yes.
A sandwich.
No.
That might be too vague. Okay.
You didn't have a sandwich this month?
Nope.
You don't do bread,
Gummy edibles.
Yes.
Coming up with these now?
And then this is my last one, brownie edible.
Yep.
Okay. Damn. Good job, Joe. How many points did you get? Oh, I guess we don't know yet. Or
Well,
we would know, yeah.
Yeah, you guys were supposed to be saying if you...
Yeah.
So, Joe, were you counting? Because I was not.
Yeah, I put check marks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
You did
I
well.
got 12 points.
Nicely done.
12 points. Good job. That brings you to 26.
A commanding third place.
You're in second right now until we count Carl's points, so why don't we do that next?
Alright. I got Oreos.
Nope.
Burger.
No.
Pizza.
No.
Sushi.
No.
Grilled cheese.
No.
Cream of mushroom soup.
Nope.
There was steak. Lobster.
No.
Fries.
No.
Pumpkin pie.
Nope.
Cherry pie.
No.
Apple pie.
Nope.
Oh, no apple pie.
Meat pie.
Meat pie.
Like a shepherd's pie?
Yeah, what? Some kind of meat pie, yeah.
No.
Damn it. Sausage.
Yep.
Eggs.
Yes.
Bacon.
But Joe said scrambled eggs, so they
Joe
both get
said
points.
scrambled eggs, but I think eggs... I'm going to say eggs scores separately.
Okay.
So you got sausage, eggs, bacon. Bacon is a yes.
Hash browns.
No.
Reese's cup.
Nope.
Ice cream.
Nope.
Oatmeal cream pie.
Nope.
Alright, that's it.
Okay. Carl, you got 3?
Yep.
Alright, John, you just need 2, and you will...
I think I got this. I think I can do this. I did write down a lot of unhealthy stuff, though. Chicken nuggets.
No.
Pizza.
No.
Someone probably said that. Carl said burgers. I wrote down double stuffs. You had no Oreos. Calzone.
Nope.
You didn't have a sandwich, so I assume you didn't have a submarine sandwich.
Correct.
Peanut butter and jelly?
Nope.
Any kale?
No.
Chicken breast?
Yes.
Okay. Pork chops?
Nope.
Doritos?
Nope.
I wrote down nuts.
I'm gonna say not specific enough.
Okay. Trail mix?
Nope.
Chicken tenders?
Nope.
Grits?
Nope.
Ribs?
Nope.
Beans?
Beans. Yes. Beans is correct.
John wins. Yogurt?
No.
Strawberries?
Nope.
A bagel?
Nope.
Soup?
Yeah.
Breadsticks?
Soup. Nope.
Nachos?
Nope.
Girl Scout cookies?
No.
Popcorn?
Yes.
Quiche?
No.
A nice Alfredo?
No.
Salsa?
No.
All right, I got 4.
All right. John, you've captured the Oral-B.
The rivalry for the Oral-B. My teeth are going to be so shiny. Look at that thing. How many?
You're going to remove 300% more plaque around the gum line. I hope you're ready.
I can't wait. My wife is going to open mouth kiss me again.
I really wish I had won that after all the sugar I just had.
I haven't brushed since the beginning of this challenge, so I could use a good cleaning. So that's how dedicated I was. I told myself at the beginning, I said, I'm not going to brush until I know I can.
You have to believe in yourself.
That's right. Well, good for me. It's exciting. This is the first, it's the first challenge I've won. Carl won the Trail for the Pale.
Yeah, on a
technicality. Yeah.
Got an asterisk by it.
Kevin won the Battle for the Boot. Very nice. Am I missing any of the other ones? What was our first ever game before we started putting things in things?
I think I won that.
Before the boot.
You did.
We went to Skyline.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Good game, everybody. Good game. Next episode. So let's see. I won. Does that mean I get to run the next game?
I think that's what that means.
All right. Look forward to the details in our next episode, and I will do my best to keep it just another 5 episode game. We'll try to bang it out in a month. I like the quick fire rapid mode on these games. So yeah, good stuff. Kevin, you got some tax tips for us? It's tax season, baby.
I do. So the IRS is now accepting returns as of the 12th, I think was the first day they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're filing your taxes, I just wanted to make people aware you've got the H&R blocks and the turbo taxes, and maybe there's another one I'm not thinking of now. But I feel like a lot of people go down the road of trying to use one of those programs. They do like the free program. But when you get into your taxes, you might realize that TurboTax doesn't want to let you file all of the forms that you have, to file. They'll try to tell you that it's only included in the paid version. Joe, have you experienced this?
I use H&R Block, and I didn't encounter this. Maybe I don't have all the forms that you have.
Okay. Well, it's sometimes they'll encourage you to upgrade, and other times they'll outright tell you you answered yes to this question, and therefore you can't file the form you need to file under the free program. I think for me it was having an HSA account that for some reason there's a form associated with what you spent on medical stuff. And an HSA account that they wanted to charge me $40 to upgrade to the paid version. So I said, shine that noise. And I wanted to make everyone aware that, the IRS actually has like free programs if you go to their website where you can just file directly with them. That's what I did. I went through a website called OLT.com, just online taxes. It looks, a little bit 90s. It's not very high production value, but they didn't charge me anything to use to file that HSA form. So I feel like they take advantage a little bit. It's people who are getting $500, $1,000 of money that wasn't necessarily part of the budget, and it's an e-time to, to encourage someone or to trick someone to spend $40 that they don't need to spend, because you can just take it out of, the chunk they're about to get. And I want everyone to know you don't need to do that, especially if your adjusted gross income is like below 80,000. Then you should have all the things that you need to file through the free services.
They definitely try to get you too on the, you're already here, you've already filed with the free version. Let us go ahead and file your state for you for $30.
Yeah, you don't need to, at least not in Ohio, you don't need to pay anything for the state taxes either.
Yeah, that's the quickest one too. Once you've got all your federal figured out, you just jump on the state of Ohio's website and that information you already got. So literally takes about 20 minutes. And there's
if you go to OLT.com, one of the services that actually will do a free federal and state file for you, it takes even less time because they'll port over everything you filled in for the federals.
Well, that is handy.
H&R Block would do if they were, nicer people.
Not money-grubbing whores.
That's right.
Well, next year. I've already done mine for this year, but I'll look into this OLT if I remember about it.
Are you getting back an exciting amount of money this year?
Yeah. I mean, it's not anything out of the ordinary exciting. It's nice to have more money, but it is what it usually is, I guess.
You get like $600 or something?
No, a little more than that. I'm into the early four figures there.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, make back some of my terrible squandered investment money there. Make it back. I guess just get it back from the government.
Are you no longer destitute once you get this cash infusion?
Oh no, I'll still be quite destitute. But luckily for me, I've got a bit of a plan coming back, and this I guess segues nicely into my plan to get back on top of the world.
Okay. Well, let's hear about it.
Yeah. So the stocks are still down, so I've had to come up with a side hustle in order to once again live the life I've been used to living and be in a position where I can buy and sell John's ass at my beck and whim there. So
Can't wait.
I've invented a product, or I'm working on the patents for a product, Kevin. When you go to eat a lasagna, some of the hardest thing about that lasagna to eat is that you gotta make all these layers, put it in the oven, get a plate, get a fork. Who has the time in this 2021 day and age to sit down and properly eat a lasagna?
The hustle bustle, man, it never stops,
Right. I've come up with a system called lasagna dippers. Basically, if you've ever seen a Fun Dip, it's like that. You take a noodle out of your pack, you smother it in the lasagna sauce in the pack next to it. You can eat it on the go. Boom. Dynamite. You're in rush hour, get out the lasagna dippers. You're waiting in an elevator, get out the lasagna dippers. You're waiting on your girlfriend, you could text somebody, or you could eat a lasagna dipper. Great. Nutritious. I think we're going to make some money here, and once again, I will be on top of the world, able to buy and sell John's ass.
Wish I would have got in on that lasagna dippers deal that Joe had.
That's right.
Could have got in on the ground floor, and I thought it was nonsense.
Once these hit the market, you're going to see a lot of people dipping their lasagna.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to run out, guys. Family stuff. I missed all of Kevin's tax tips, but it doesn't matter because I'm a bit of a passenger 57 when it comes to all that.
Is that one of the people who died on 9/11? What's a passenger 57?
Joe, you want to take this one?
I don't get the tax reference. Oh, I see. You're a Wesley Snipes. You're a tax avoider.
Yeah, I don't file.
Oh, okay.
I haven't filed taxes since 2003.
Wouldn't you get money back?
I don't want it. I don't need handouts. I'm like Joe. I'm against big government. So stay out of my checking account.
If you're against big government, you should try to take your money back. They're gonna spend it.
I just wanted to make a passenger 57 joke.
Okay.
I see.
That makes sense.
So I apologize. Yeah. Is this Joe's financial update? Is that what we're in the middle of?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That was rude.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
I'm still quite destitute, but I'm on the way back up with my new product.
Joe, I sent you some charity a couple days ago because you're so destitute. Did you enjoy the charity?
You did. I'm wearing them right now. That can segue into our next segment. We all got PCs. I've got some new personal clothing that I'm wearing right now. So I guess this comes from the outfit you were talking about last week. 32 degrees, 38. How many degrees was it?
32.
32 degrees. Okay. So, yeah, no, definitely wasn't expecting it. Thank you for thinking about me when you were on the website, knowing how destitute I was. I feel like a genie.
So
These
what did
clothes
he? I'm sorry. What did he order you? What did you get?
It's a shirt. It's some underoos. It's shorts and pants. They're quite silky, very mood-friendly. I do feel like a black genie wearing this. Not an African, but the clothes are black, so I was just no more. Don't send a letter about that statement.
No one confused
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's good. I'm wearing jammies on top of it right now because it's not quite weather appropriate, but I did want to get them on for the podcast and have a bit of the feel of them. Feels like I could do some yoga. Feels like I could take a jog.
Yep. Yeah, what I sent you is definitely more of a warm weather loungewear, or somebody who keeps their house, 70 degrees or above, I would say. But
yeah, if I could afford that temperature, I would. But this is so. Do they have like jeans and such on there as well, or mainly?
They don't have jeans. They have shorts that are more like casual, wearing out in the world type shorts. Those are good. They have pants that are a little bit suspect. They're kind of like a golf pant or a maybe something you would wear to a workplace or something. Outside of that, they have different varieties of like shirts and stuff. And then I would say if you're enjoying the regular t-shirt and the feel of the silkiness of the pants, then you might enjoy some of their other shirt offerings. Everything has kind of the same softness and stretchiness profile.
I think the one downside to this type of clothing would be if you're a cat owner. This seems like the claws of the cat could easily penetrate or scratch this up pretty good.
Sure. Yep. Got to be careful if you're a cat owner.
I guess that's just general, though. If you're a cat owner, you're probably well aware of your circumstance there with cat's claws.
Yeah, you got to get one of those scratching posts for them so they can ignore that and then continue to scratch up your nice pants.
Absolutely. No, I would recommend these to someone who's interested in lounging or, lounging and then maybe transitioning into going for a jog around the block. Feels good.
What's it marketed as? Loungewear or fitness stuff?
The overall brand, I would say, is more like activewear.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably the cluster they would fall under. But the pants and the shorts that I sent him specifically are labeled sleep.
Oh, okay.
Sleepwear.
Nice.
So should I not jog in this? Is it not going to absorb sweat as something else would be more apt to do?
I wear them biking. I mean, it's, if you're jogging, I think the shorts are a little more apt to show some of the bounce of your balls and dick than a traditional gym short might be. But, you can feel them. They're cool enough to wear during something active.
Yeah, I guess I don't do anything active really, so I don't know how it's supposed to react to when you start sweating. If it's supposed to absorb the sweat or bounce off the sweat, or a little of both.
It would be a really nice short to mow the lawn in on a warm summer's day,
like that.
Joe, are you a large or a medium for the torso region?
It depends on the make. Typically more of a large than a medium.
Gotcha.
For this type of clothes, though, I feel like I probably could have gone from medium to extra large, just the way it kind of stretches a bit. I think these were all large things.
The pants were mediums, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And then the shirts fit a little on the, fitted side.
No, everything fits pretty well. I mean, it seems like if I were slightly bigger or smaller, like I said, everything would have fit just fine still. And been equally as comfortable.
Well, good. Glad the charity worked out.
Yeah. I'm still waiting.
I want to send Joe. I want to send Joe some charity now.
Still need to hear back from that GoFundMe, where we are on that, but it's going to be a modern day success story. I'm going to be not Leonardo DiCaprio in the film Titanic. I'm going to be Kate Winslet.
You're not
live to a ripe old age and have a diamond necklace.
But you're to the point now where you're not doing sex work anymore, right? Is that true or is that false? I mean, or can we get a last time that you went down that road, or I should say back alley?
I think now with these, I might up my prices with these new loungewear things. People will find them quite fetching. A little bit of the fitted shirt. I think it'll be a great time to make an extra $10 a head, maybe.
I think we lost Carl. Carl's out, right? Is that true?
Yeah, he said he had to go.
He had to go. Okay. Well, cool. Good for you, Joe. And Kevin, thanks for doing your part for our friend. You know, I'd hate to see him shivering at his house without inactive wear to put on, you know? Yeah, great. Good. All good shit. Kevin, we got new computers coming, man.
That's right. Yeah.
Are you feeling excited? Are you ready to fire that thing up and run it through its paces and see what kind of frames you get on Doom Eternal or one of your favorite video games?
Yeah, I don't think I'm appropriately excited. The thing that I'm most excited for is my old PC, which we built, Chad and Zane built for me.
Yeah.
13 years ago. 12.5 years ago, something like that. Dang. And outside of, I think maybe they switched in like a solid state hard drive at some point. Outside of that computer's not been touched that I can remember in that time. And so it's starting to fuck up a little bit just trying to like stream videos. It's getting a little bit clippy.
Yeah.
And there's not a setting that I could find. Chad's recommendation was this is probably just your computer being old. So I'm looking forward to having a desktop that I can, stream video from again.
For sure.
It's my most sort of tangible touch point right now.
We talked last night. You're kind of interested in maybe grabbing a VR headset for fitness purposes.
Yeah, it seems like that would be a good thing, especially times that you're traveling. Maybe it doesn't happen super often, but can be inconvenient figuring out how to close your rings when you're on the road. And
yeah,
VR headset, that seems like a pretty logical conclusion. Plus, you mentioned Brogan looked into some other fitness apps, which is kind of a no-brainer, I guess. Like there must be other stuff out there. I'm sure other people are interested in this. And it seems like that would be a good thing. And maybe getting some kind of like ankle weights or light dumbbells, depending on what the games turn out to be.
For sure.
And working your way through there.
Yeah, there's some boxing apps, and then of course there's Beat Saber, and then dancing apps. So there's all kinds of ways to work up a sweat in VR for sure. So yeah, you're taking my old machine, and then what you paid me for it, I reinvested into my new machine, which is just going to be an absolute powerhouse. Real excited to fire that up, and I'll be running over there at some point and grabbing it either before or after my COVID test. But can't wait. And some of your other games that you like to play are pretty easy to fire up in there. Rocket League is the first one that comes to mind. The Master Chief Collection, if we decide to play that. And then I forget, are you subscribed to Game Pass?
I am for now.
Okay.
I think I got like 3 months of it at the $1 price.
Okay.
And so when that comes due, we'll make another decision.
Yep. And so you can update that if you want, or try it out for a month or whatever, to the Ultimate Game Pass, which unlocks a whole bunch of PC games on that side. So you can install those and check those out if you're interested. Lots of good stuff on there, and including Rocket League, which is free anyway, but a bunch of those kind of multiplayer games that we get ourselves into. Yeah, really excited. If you're one of these console boys out there and you've only ever had a PlayStation or an Xbox, but you play a lot of video games, you do more than a few hours a week, I'm always trying to encourage people to step into that PC world, and kind of do it like how we're doing it right now, where, you start with a budget build and then you sell that after having it for a year or two and save a little more to cover, upgrading all your stuff. So I know a lot of people think with PC, it's okay, you just continually upgrade it, every year or every couple years, motherboard, RAM, your GPU, just upgrade components, when that's kind of how I looked at it. And our super tech boy, Mr. Zane, he said, no, you take the finished machine, you sell it to a buddy, and then you just get a new machine. And I thought that was crazy. I was like, no, I got a computer. This will last until the 2030s, and I won't be bothered about it. But looking good. I'm excited to see what ray tracing is all about on this new graphics card, and see how Cyberpunk runs on it. And I'm gonna geek out tonight. Well, I'll try to. I have to chloroform my wife, I think, but the rest of it will work out. So new gear. Joe, did you get your hands on that PlayStation yet?
No. Last I heard, he's still looking for the HDMI cord, which is one of the few things I do actually have around here, but haven't gotten it yet. I think he's just going to hang on to it till the next time we do D&D, and then I'll get it at that point.
Who is this friend? Is this Adam's old computer or old PlayStation? Yep. Okay.
This is the Invisible Hand.
The Invisible Hand.
Our good friend is upgraded, and be getting that sweet PS4. Got a couple games in mind that sound like they're pretty good ones. I think I talked about them, but yeah, Borderlands 3. I don't know if you guys got into that series at all. I liked the first 1 and 2, so it seems like a natural one to pick up on.
It was well received for sure. It got good reviews, so I'm sure it's solid. Yeah. A lot of those games support crossplay too. So now with Kevin on PC and Xbox, there should be some overlap on games that we can play online. So prepare your financial situation for a monthly charge to play online with your friends.
Okay. Well, if these lasagna dippers take off, then that should be no issue.
Right on. Speaking of video games, I wanted to bring up the musical Little Shop of Horrors. I was doing some exercise. This was last week, and I just had, I think I only needed like 150 calories. It was not a big deal. And in Beat Saber, you can get that in probably a half hour, 20 minutes, something like that. And so I was stoked to get in there and finish out my day. And it's, 10 o'clock, and I got my fan set up, and I'm wearing some loose clothes, and I got a headband on to try to avoid getting sweat into the headset and everything. And I'm all geared up to get my Beat Saber on. And I do my normal 30 minutes, some Daft Punk, some Gorillaz, some Katy Perry, some, I jump all around. Some Justice is another one that they have some good tracks on there. And I get my calories. I'm like, oh, all right. And then I'm going through my list of custom Beat Saber tracks, and I get to Little Shop of Horrors, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that I had that on. I forgot that I had downloaded it, and when I was looking at it, it didn't specifically say what song it was. So I was like, oh, I should give that a try. So I'm done with my calories. I'm like, yeah, let's just have some fun with it and see what this track's like. And I hit play on it, and it starts with the first track of the musical, which I think is sort of like an overarching, not a reprise, Kevin, but what would you call that? It's sort of like a medley of like, here's some of the songs and melodies you'll be hearing in this musical. They hit,
I think that's just called an overture.
Overture, thank you. And so they do like downtown, and they do a little bit of Suddenly Seymour, and they just kind of sprinkle in some different character intros, and I'm having a blast. I'm swiping away, and then I'm remembering as I'm listening to this. It should be noted that I have had some edibles at this point. I'm grooving, like I'm really enjoying it, and I'm remembering like, man, I really love the music in Little Shop of Horrors, and it might be my favorite musical of all times. I'm not huge into musical, but I do like the classics. Your West Side Story, your The Sound of Music. Typically, I think of like musicals that have a movie version that my mom forced me to watch growing up, and really fell in love with Little Shop of Horrors when I was a kid, and just liked it ever since. But this was hadn't messed with it or listened to any of it in a while, and I'm playing through, and I'm like, oh, this is great. I'm absolutely adoring this. And I finished the song, and I'm like, all right, that was great, good download. And then the level doesn't finish. Usually it cues a little like scoreboard tune, and it shows you how well you did, what streaks you had, how many blocks, how many points you got, blah blah blah, and then it doesn't end, and I'm like, well, what's going on here? And then this wall comes towards me with a little doorway, and I go through that wall, and then the next track on the musical starts. And so what this download was, and it makes sense now because I'm looking back, I'm like, why is this one taking so long to download? I didn't look at the size of it. It's the entire musical in one level, so one track. So it's like, as soon as I realized that, I'll do another one, but I'm not gonna start a marathon of, Little Shop of Horrors, all of the music. And on the soundtrack, the music, some of the songs are extended. They're like the extended full versions, that I'm not necessarily familiar with from the movie. And, sure as shit, I did like another 45 minutes of Beat Saber on top of what I was planning on doing, and did the entire Little Shop of Horrors soundtrack. I was pretty proud of myself. I probably burnt like double the calories I was trying to get, but yeah. So I just want to say, if you haven't seen it, if you like musicals, if you don't like musicals, if you're wondering, hey, when's Rick Moranis going to put something else out, and you're missing that guy, go back, watch it. Steve Martin, Rick Moranis, I love it. Giant Killer Plant, big fan.
Would that be your top Moranis film of all time?
I think it is, yeah. I mean, I really like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and Strange Brew's not bad, but yeah, that one, it's the music, you know what I mean? It's the reason I like Nightmare Before Christmas. It's the songs. Alan Menken is the composer, songwriter behind all the music in Little Shop of Horrors. He's done a lot of stuff for Disney, the 89 Little Mermaid, 91 Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Pocahontas. So like,
oh wow,
the guy's a slayer. I mean, the guy's like the melodies that I hum and sing along in my car or randomly pop into my head. Like, I didn't realize they were all linked to one guy, kind of. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I have just certain songs that continually pop up in my head, like almost every time I get out of the shower, I always sing, from Aladdin, A Whole New World. Cause I just feel like, I'm so fresh and clean now. And I there's just certain songs that cue in my life, and I always find myself humming them.
Most times you step out of the shower, you think of that song. Wow.
A Whole New World. Sometimes Outkast.
Big part of your life.
Sometimes Outkast,
so fresh.
So fresh and clean. But Kevin, you're a singer. I mean, you, and as we're talking about Little Shop of Horrors, you played, Seymour, the main character in the high school version of our, we got a caller coming in, we got a caller on the podcast right now. Jordan, hello. You are on podcast right now. How are you doing?
Hey, it's Jordan here. I'm live from the streets, deep into the real estate market. What questions do you have?
What are your thoughts on the Little Shop of Horrors?
I love it. I think it's one of Rick Moranis' best performances ever.
Yeah. What's your favorite song on the soundtrack?
I guess when Kevin sang "Feed Me Seymour" in the final act. Better than, like, the reprise? Is that what that's called?
Well, that was its own song, Feed Me.
In high school when Kevin was in that?
We were just talking about that, but that was, that's a whole song, Feed Me.
Well, I thought.
You need blood and he's got more than enough. I need blood and he's got more than enough.
Mo. Don't they do a mo part?
And he says, so go and get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just looked at a house and it, curb appeal is great, but you go inside and you can see like where the floor is like sinking or the ceiling is like, is that crooked? And then I leaned up against this like post and it like almost broke. Like, I'm talking like, I shouldn't call it a post. It was more of a room dividing like wall. I leaned up against it and it was like, like, we should get out of here.
Oh, it's a no-go.
It's a no-go, yeah. I mean,
bit of a fixer-upper.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, we're finishing out the pod. I'll get a hold of you later. Really just wanted your input on Little Shop of Horrors.
See, John, it's a seller's market.
Yeah.
And you got to come in with cash. You got to come in hot. I told the people in the parking lot that were next in line that the house was haunted.
There you go.
And we don't even
know. It sounds like maybe it was.
Kevin says maybe it was haunted.
Well, it is now. It's farted in the bathroom. All right, I'll let you guys go.
All right. Later, buddy.
Bye.
Oh, what a guy. Yeah. Well, that kind of rounds us out for the pod there, young Chirpin.
I wanted you to shower me with praise for all the Little Shop thing. I got cut off.
No, you killed it in that musical, and I don't know that the casting could have been any better. You know, you embodied the role. Like you went deep on that one. You went a little method on that one.
I was a young man. I was a freshman man.
Yeah,
and I think I was a surprise a bit to Miss Shelton, the casting and drama lady.
Oh, she adored you. She knew what she was doing.
I mean, no, that was early on though, because at that point all I had done was we did the Christmas Carol in the fall, and I had like one little character or whatever. But yeah, then we had auditions for Little Shop, and I had been like practicing just kind of singing in the shower and stuff. And yeah, I went into that audition, and I think it was, hey, surprise, this guy's going to be better than anyone else we thought we could get.
Fucking Ben Gullett or JD Lyle or whatever you call those other drama kids. I forget who would the role gone to had you not got it. You think you were a little more plugged in than I was with the drama department.
Yeah, I mean, these names aren't going to mean much to like even you possibly. But,
okay.
I think Nate Wilkinson might have been. He was kind of a similar like vocal range or whatever, and he would have been. I think he was a senior that year.
Okay.
Andrew Marlar, I guess. I think the range again would have been a little bit weird for him, but he was a year older and already kind of in with Miss Shelton and whatnot.
Never liked his work in high school. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. But, it came together nicely, and I would wager one of the better productions that school has ever put together. We had, we borrowed an Audrey 2 from Wright State, I want to say, who had just done it the year before. So it was a good, it was a semi-professional level, Audrey 2 that I
was impressed with that.
Kind of too big for our stage, really.
Yeah. It was a really cool production for sure. I was excited to see it, and this was kind of before you and I were that tight. So it was fun to see you as like, who is this kid with the pipes? This is beautiful. I was having a lot of fun with it.
John, how come you never bring up my my school performances?
Well, I didn't go to high school with you.
Well, I was the offstage voice of Joey Biltmore in Guys and Dolls. Did you know that?
I did not know that. Is that true?
Without me, there would have been no Guys and Dolls. I gave Nathan Detroit a place where he could host his crap game.
Is that true?
That's true. It's absolutely true.
The guys and the dolls?
The guys were there. The dolls weren't in the craps game, so I didn't really have much interaction with the dolls.
Nice.
I really, I greased the wheels for that Nathan Detroit.
My on-stage credits are I was the general of I think they were called the Winkies or something like that from the Wizard of Oz production, which, Kevin, I believe you were the Scarecrow in that production.
You were also a crow in that with Carl.
I was a crow with Carl, and then I was also
Did I scare you?
Yeah, big time.
Okay.
I was an Ozian. Okay. I was one of the Oz people, so I was involved in a lot of just different dancing and tights, so that was fun. And then, of course, our improv shows that we did I think at least 2 of those with you and Carl, and that was fun. What was it? A night of improv or something like that? Those were those were silly.
Wait, were they? Yeah, night of improv.
Is that what they called them? Yeah. I'd like to hunt down the VHS of those and see if any of it holds up.
No, I'm sure it's
probably terrible.
In terms of what the other high school kids could do, this is basically it was me, you, Carl. Who else was a part of those?
Was Max Pretzel involved? Was there a female lady, a Jade, maybe?
I don't think so. I can't remember if Brittany would have done any of those.
We were the heavy hitters, though. Let's be honest.
Oh yeah, for sure. But this was us doing Whose Line Is It Anyway? Basically, at a high school level, and so it was. Again, I'm sure probably no laughs whatsoever.
Oh, we got laughs. Are you kidding me?
We got laughs from them.
Oh,
I'm saying,
now
if you were watching it now, it would be an abortion.
What was your big thing back then? You kept making Robert Downey Jr. jokes. That was like your go-to.
Yeah. There's some low-hanging fruit when it comes to getting laughs out of high school.
Right.
I remember bringing up Robert Downey Jr. a lot. I did a lazy impression of the principal at the time, who was kind of a Santa Claus-like figure.
That's right.
And then I remember once I got, I think this was just a rehearsal, but I got scolded for going for a cheap cancer joke.
Yeah.
And Miss Shelton had to, kind of try to bring me into reality that most people don't find cancer funny, and if you're playing to a house of a couple hundred people, the odds are that most of them will have been affected in some way by the disease of cancer. But then my dad died later on, so I guess cancer had the last laugh on that one.
Yeah. She was
trying to save you from being canceled.
Cancer canceled?
Yeah, if that would have surfaced today, people would say, "Nope, this guy's no good. He made this cancer joke in high school. Let's get him."
I don't think cancer jokes get you canceled. I think it's more homophobic stuff and racial stuff.
I bet they would. I don't think we've seen a prominent figure like stepping in over a cancer joke yet, but give it time.
Yeah, I guess anything's possible. Yeah, those were fun times. But yeah, man. So I want to show the Little Shop of Horrors to the girls because they have not seen it, and I'm very excited to watch it again. But they have dentist appointments coming up, and I don't want to freak them out, especially the 5-year-old with that whole Steve Martin bit, So I'm kind of holding back for a week or so until they get their cleaning done, and then we'll fire it up.
Mark.
Yeah. I just don't want tears in the parking lot and have to drag her in. You know what I mean? Dodge that entire scenario. Works out best for me.
Has she been to the dentist before, though?
Yeah.
All right. So, she probably knows the deal, but I guess just the week before. Why not? Why not avoid that? Yeah. But yeah, I think that's a pod. Unless we... Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I think we hit it all. There's a lot of shit to cover in this episode. Good job, Joe. Good job, Kevin.
It's dense.
Mm-hmm. Dense. If you had fun... Yeah, if you had fun and you enjoyed the pod, help us out. Suggest it to a buddy of yours or a friend of yours. And when we go live, help us spread that link around. If you watch live, it's every Sunday. We should be back to our 6:00 start time next Sunday, but no promises there. Typically, it's Sunday at 6:00. Real podcast right now on Twitch. And then, of course, hit up our website, podcastrightnow.com, to find links to our Twitter and our Patreon account. And as always, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us, talking some shit. Stay safe, wear gloves, wear your mask, wear your condoms. Try out this new product that is going to surface in the market very soon. What is it? Lasagna on the go? Lasagna dippers?
Lasagna dippers.
Give it a try. Open up that brain of yours to some new Italian. Is this in the freezer section?
There's going to be both. There's going to be freezer section, but then also where you find fruit snacks.
Oh, God. Non-perishable.
Well, it's, some people like to eat cold pizza in the morning. Some people like to have it a little bit warmer. So
All right.
we're going to have both options.
The shelf-stable version, is it like a powdered meat sauce that you add water to, or?
No. It's more of like a baby food kind of consistency.
Oh. Like room temperature? Like one of those damn pizza Lunchables you see the kids have?
Yeah, I mean,
I could go for a pizza Lunchable.
it's going to start off that way, but then it'll be totally microwavable safe too. So if you do like a little bit, more on the 80-degree side, sure.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, be safe out there, everybody. Wave to your neighbors. Return a wave if your neighbor waves to you, even if they got a Trump flag. And what else? Leave no trace. Be kind out there. We'll talk to you guys next week. Podcast right now, episode 174. Farewell. Podcast. Right now.